Williams is charged with murdering the Somerset County Sheriff's deputy. Shannon Moss is here. She was in the courtroom today. She brings us up to date on what was happening day one.
Yeah, day one indeed. In fact, as you both know, they moved the trial to Cumberland County. A lot of media attention, of course, right after Corporal Cole's death, as well as that 4-day manhunt. So to get it out of Somerset County, they brought it here to make sure that John Williams gets a fair trial. That trial, as you mentioned, Lee, did start today. And what happened was, well, you had the prosecution and you had the defense simply laying out their opening statements. The prosecution, they have to basically prove that John Williams did in fact commit murder. And in order to do that, it has to be knowingly and intentional. And that is what they're saying did happen, regardless of the fact that John Williams was on drugs at the time, that he was in the throes of addiction. The defense, when they got up to talk about their opening statement, they did not deny that John Williams did in fact shoot and kill Corporal Cole. But the defense is saying that because Williams was high on crack cocaine, heroin, and just about anything else he could get his hands on, that he did not intentionally kill Corporal Cole. And of course, today they started to call witnesses. We had about 4 or 5 that were on the stand. We had the medical examiner that was there. We had the woman, the clerk that was at Cumberland Farms. And if you remember or not, Williams is accused of taking Corporal Cole's cruiser, driving to Cumberland Farms and stealing cigarettes and a bottle of water. So she testified as well. And of course, this is just the start. They're expecting to go 2 weeks. And Williams is supposed to take the stand himself.
Any idea when that is?
They did not tell us when that is, but of course we will be there every single day. We'll be following this trial closely and bring you all the latest developments.
Awesome. Shannon, thank you very much.
You bet.
All right, speaking of awesome, it was awesome outside today for sure, continuing the weekend, though we had to work today because it was a Monday. Let's talk to Keith, see what's going on out there. Hey, Keith.
It was gorgeous, wasn't it? I mean,
perfect.
Nice to actually walk outside too and just get a cup of coffee.
Just enjoy it. And today was actually the warmest day.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah,
okay.
We got into the, especially away from the coastline, 86 in Freiburg, which is hot.
Yes.
We determined 84 and above is hot, I think.
Yes, we did.
84 and a half, depending
official.
on the wind direction. 78 in Wissahickon, 77 in Portland, 83 in Bangor. You can see the ocean influence is apparent, although we didn't see breeze until later in the day. Visible satellite is clean still. A couple of clouds coming in through Vermont and parts of New Hampshire. Most of us won't cloud up until after sunset tonight, and then we start to see our next system moving towards us. It's just going to be some rain that moves in tonight through tomorrow, but we might be able to clear out tomorrow afternoon. There's kind of 2 rounds of moisture in here. The back end of this tending a little bit more towards convection showers and thunderstorms. So we cloud up tonight. Again, most of us are cloudy right after sunset, depending on your location. But the rain doesn't move in until late tonight over southwestern Maine, and then eventually comes in through tomorrow morning. And by tomorrow morning's commute, 2/3 or so of the state will be seeing showers. Those continue through the middle of the day. And then, guys, there is some hope that the back end of this will be clearing in time for tomorrow afternoon. After that, another gorgeous day on Wednesday. So finally maybe turning it around for this spring.
That sounds great. Keith, thanks. We'll check back with you in a bit. We'll get to some headlines now. A spokesman for David Ortiz says the former Red Sox slugger is in stable condition in intensive care as he recovers from a gunshot wound. Happened last night in a bar in the Dominican Republic. That's where he's from. Big Papi was rushed to the hospital and into surgery. Doctors removed his gallbladder, parts of his intestine. They say his liver is damaged as well. The shooting suspect, Eddie Garcia, is in custody. He was grabbed and beaten by a crowd at the bar, and the man Garcia arrived with was able to run away. Ortiz's spokesperson says Big Papi is going to be flown to Boston once his condition improves.
New York City Fire Department says the pilot of a helicopter that crashed on a Manhattan skyscraper rooftop has died. The chopper crash landed on the top of the tower on 7th Avenue, just a few blocks from Rockefeller Center and Times Square. It does not appear anyone else was on board when the crash happened, and it happened just a few hours ago.
From Washington, Congressman Gerald Nadler, the chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, says the Justice Department has agreed to turn over some of the underlying evidence from Special Counsel Robert Mueller's report. Among the information the committee wants to scrutinize, files used to assess whether President Trump obstructed justice. Mueller's report looked into Russian tampering in the election. Nadler's committee subpoenaed the Justice Department, looking to get a hold of Mueller's most important files, and he said all the members of that committee will be able to view them. Think about the foods you eat all the time. What if we told you that some of them might be filled with potentially harmful chemicals?
According to a new study by the FDA, that is the new reality after PFAS chemicals were found in foods you and your family might actually be eating. Our Samantha York is here to explain. Samantha?
Hey guys, yeah, so we've been talking about these PFAS chemicals for quite some time, but as you mentioned, experts are now finding that they aren't just in the soil and water, but in the foods produced near those contaminated areas. So what are these chemicals and how can you protect yourself? Well, take a look. A new study by the FDA is raising major red flags after it found the presence of potentially harmful chemicals in a number of foods, from chocolate cake to leafy greens, even pineapple.
All of these PFAS chemicals, and in particular a few of the most studied ones, are incredibly detrimental to health at very low concentrations.
PFAS chemicals are man-made and have been used on military bases and manufacturing sites for years, creating things like nonstick products, firefighting foam, and water-repellent coatings. Experts say those same chemicals are seeping into the surrounding water and soil, and now into our bodies, causing major health concerns.
Changes to cholesterol, impacts on the immune system, and increased rates of thyroid disease.
So how are they entering our bodies? Experts found a link between the chemicals and foods produced near the contaminated sites, but there's something else, the food's packaging.
FDA allows PFAS, some what are called shorter chain, to be used and applied to greaseproof paper.
These are chemicals that we don't want in our food, we don't want in our drinking water, and there's significant concerns about really this entire family of chemicals.
What can be done? At this point, it's kind of a waiting game. Here in Maine, there are a handful of former military bases that are being studied. On a national level, experts are calling on the FDA and Trump administration for more research and restrictions.
Ultimately, more testing needs to be done to better understand the contamination of our food supply, identify where these high sources of exposure are coming from, and take action to clean up our food.
Now, the FDA says it is committed to better understanding these chemicals and its impact on our foods. They even created a group this year specifically to evaluate this. And I must mention that our own Vivian Lee has done a number of stories on these chemicals and its impact on the water at the Pease Air Force Base in New Hampshire, as well as the soil at a farm in Auburn. So if you want to learn more, just head to our website. Lee and Amanda, back to you.
Yeah, she's done a lot of stories, so lots of information out there about this.
All right. Awesome, Sam. Thank you very much. We're going to take a break, but coming up, one major airline is delaying the return of the 737 MAX jets. What airline and why they're doing that in just a bit.
And we're going to get a behind-the-scenes look at a biotech company that has set up shop in a hangar building on the base of the former Brunswick Naval Air Station.
Now we can say hello to our Facebook friends.
Hello.
And oh, we're back to this angle.
Okay, can you wait? Oh, they can kind of see the background. What do you think of the new paint job here? What did you say at the monitors?
Yeah, here we are at we've moved into our new studio, and our new newsroom behind us. So the set's been turned back around again.
Oh, Liam coming in clutch with the actual vision of that. Can we show them?
Oh, yeah.
The newsroom? Okay, so we have new desks.
Yep, there's the newsroom.
Yeah.
What's kind of cool about these desks is that you can make them standing or sitting.
Yes.
And,
it is pretty cool. What did you do? You were standing.
I was standing for a while. Yeah.
I'm tired. I needed to sit.
I sit to eat. That's about it.
But there's what it looks like. It's pretty good. I think it's going to be great for, something new is always good for the soul too.
Well,
Are we over there now?
Yes.
Is that the
I
deal?
think it's nice anyway, just the new paint job.
Yes.
In itself.
Well, and
Just cleans it up.
yeah, and the just the general cleanliness.
Yeah.
You may not need the box. You're pretty tall.
Yeah, I've got shoes. No need for
You decide.
blueberries on my mind.
He doesn't want to be associated with it.
Okay, people are talking about the David Ortiz story, and I also am curious to figure. I'm interested in seeing how this story plays out, like who this guy is.
Well, it's funny because in the Associated Press has been saying all day, they're trying to determine if he was the target. Yes. Okay. Okay. Is that good? If he, if he was the target or if it was random.
Yeah.
But I mean, the person came right up to him and shot him, and he had to be the only well-known person in that bar. I think it's pretty highly unlikely.
Can't imagine it was random.
Yeah. Yeah.
I am pretty tall in these shoes. I just realized, because how tall are you? 6'3"? 3?
No.
Ooh.
Yeah. No, you're good. Probably the tallest female anchor we have. Yes.
Am I? Yeah.
I would say you are.
Yeah.
American Airlines now says it is going to keep its Boeing 737 MAX jets grounded through September the 3rd.
That will affect 115 flights per day. Not great news. American had said it will cancel flights through mid-August, so this amounts to a 2-week extension. The Boeing MAX jets were grounded after 2 deadly crashes, one in Indonesia, one in Ethiopia. Boeing has been working on software upgrades and new training procedures, but has yet to complete a certification test flight. The airline says it's making the announcement now so it will be as accurate as possible with its summer travel schedule. The number of workers hired by U.S. businesses reached a record high in April.
Yeah, hiring in the areas of construction, professional and business services was particularly strong. According to the Labor Department, hiring increased to 5.9 million jobs for the month. That's a gain of 240,000 jobs from March. And this is the highest level since the Labor Department started keeping records of this back in 2000. And there still are jobs to be had out there, especially in trade, transportation, and utilities.
You see signs all over the state right now of now hiring, looking for help.
Unbelievable. Yeah. And I think it's really tough on some employers because they can't find enough people.
Yeah. All right. Later in the show, single-use plastics in Canada may soon be a thing of the past.
And speaking of the past, we had some great weather last weekend. Keith's going to let us know if it's going to hang around or not.
These weirdos.
Watch it
All
get
right.
more followers than
I think
the
we're over
front
here
of your
now,
head.
Liam.
You don't want that.
You want us over here? Okay.
Oh, we're over there now?
So you want to point it this way.
Just kick this chair. So you guys are going to be here.
Well,
I'm going
say.
to be shooting from over there.
Okay.
I'm going to go test it out, see how it looks. Put your mask away.
Ooh, did you get an autographed photo of Cindy Williams?
It's not
autographed.
I couldn't get an autograph.
Okay, why don't you take a couple steps forward? Yeah, I think that's good.
All right.
And the light.
I don't need this right now, do I?
No, but I need
Although
these.
I'm
Otherwise, I can't.
supposed to run it for closed captioning.
I think that looks good.
Tough two-piece.
Hey, Jeffy,
Oh, you just adjusted it.
could you run this just for closed captioning purposes for this block? I'm sorry. Thank you.
Especially one that could help both customers.
You've never run it? There you go.
This is your story?
Yeah. Yeah, this was the 207 story.
Oh. That.
We aired it like a month ago.
Oh.
Thanks for watching.
So just like in the past, I'll step in when we're live. Yes. I'm gonna like walk, like kind of take a step in. That's when you guys can start.
Oh, cool. All right, thank you. We're kind of ignoring Facebook right now.
I know we're trying something new. Sorry, Facebook.
Sorry.
All right, stand by 10 seconds.
Give me a head nod or something. All right, we're back. You know, it's impressive to hear about a biotech company expanding its roots here in Maine, especially one that could help lower the cost of prescription drugs. But the one we're about to go inside is doing something really, really unique, right?
This is actually pretty impressive. For 9 years, a company based out of Switzerland has been generating human-like tissue for medical researchers all over the world and for some of the top pharmaceutical makers, and they're doing so in an old building on the base of the former Brunswick Naval Air Station.
Call your doctor if you have fever, stiff muscles, and confusion, as these may be signs of a life-threatening reaction.
Opdivo can cause your immune system to attack normal organs and tissues in your body and affect how they work.
Call your doctor right away if you have a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain.
The side effects of any new pharmaceutical drug can often be scarier than what they're meant to treat. But how can drug companies do better testing?
Most of the drugs, when they're just reaching the clinical phases, now 90% of it's failing.
They can start right here at a company called Insphero. Armand Wolf spent years working in drug development in the pharmaceutical field. Those drugs are failing on average 10 years into testing. 10 years spent on something that never reaches potential.
It will cost about 1 to 2 billion. So this is a huge waste of money.
Wolf is now the chief scientific officer for Insphero, which was founded 9 years ago. Home base for he and Frank Juncker, the chief business officer, is Switzerland. But 8 of their 60 employees work from this facility in Brunswick in a space called Tech Place.
Originally, actually, we started out an office in Cambridge, because Cambridge, of course, is a natural place to be. It's a biotech pharma hub, and we wanted to be close to our customers. But for a small company like us, it's very expensive to have a lab space there and an office. So we started looking around, and we very quickly found Tech Place here, and it ticks many boxes.
Tech Place is on the base of the former Brunswick Naval Air Station, and the work that happens inside of this old aircraft maintenance building is nothing short of incredible.
And the idea of Insphero is to put the cells in a much more natural environment.
Traditionally, drug companies or researchers test their products' effects on cells in a dish, keeping things two-dimensional. But the way cells exist in a human body is three-dimensional. What scientists do here is allow cells to grow and assemble in a more natural state into a sphere to form the smallest functional unit of a human tissue.
Because cells like to touch each other, right? So we feel much more comfortable and behave much more physiological.
The more comfortable these cells are, the more accurate the results are.
So when you get better results, when you get more biological relevant results, that always saves you time, because you know much earlier whether your drug works or doesn't work. Because if it doesn't work, you want to fail early.
Failing early can save money. It can save time on testing. It can save lives.
It's not depending on animal killing. It's not depending on treatment of patients without knowing what the risk is. So this is a way how to find out basic characteristics of a compound under investigative conditions.
Through cell manipulation and growth within this lab, Insphero can also mimic the basic functions of a liver for drug safety testing, including the mechanisms by which many drugs are processed for elimination from our bodies. A pancreas, which can be further manipulated for testing diabetes drugs and therapies, and tumors that exhibit realistic drug response and resistance.
So in the dish, and you see here is 69 well plates where you have a micro tissue in each well, and you can then treat these microtissues with a compound with a different concentration. You can do some time-dependent observation of the changes in those cultures.
A biotech company mimicking the human body as much as possible right here in Maine, making major strides in research and drug development that can help patients all over the world.
In the future, the drug companies will change their screening paradigm and the ways how they make predictions in terms of efficacy and also in terms of safety. And I think we are an important part in that process. And I think it's a collaboration and just the synergism which could bring us and move us up to the next loop of screening and testing paradigm in drug development.
Some really interesting stuff they're doing
Very
at Inspira.
interesting. And that is brain drops as well. So what are you going to do later?
Yeah,
There it is. I'm sorry I took it away from you.
my eyes glaze over when I hear that much science on TV. I can't believe we're doing this.
Wrong.
All right.
you. What a great story you
She
put
worked
together,
on this
Amanda.
story
You did
for-
such a great job.
It was great.
Just go do your
4
job.
days of great weather.
All right, we'll take that.
How about that?
All right.
That's what it was. I mean, well, really Thursday afternoon, if you recall.
I don't know. Our eyes glaze over after a couple of nice days.
Thank you.
Tonight on Brain Drops, math equations. It's good for ratings. 77 officially in Portland today. 86 in Freiburg and Berlin at 86 as well. So you get away from the coast, and temperatures were in the mid 80s. Now, that is warm, but it wasn't humid, so that made it a lot more comfortable. The humidity is still relatively low. We sea breezed along the coast into the 60s there, 70 in Wiscasset hanging on, 78 in Augusta, 77 in Lewiston. Great late afternoon and early evening. Clouds are still well off to the west here, and so it's, for most of us, not until sunset that we start clouding up, and over northern Maine, it's really not until tomorrow morning. So here's our next storm system. It's not a big system. It's continental coming in from the west. It will give us some rain late tonight in through early tomorrow, and at least through the first half of tomorrow, depending on your location. And it's the first rain we've had, again, since basically Thursday morning. So the longest stretch we've put together in a while of nice weather. Here come the clouds tonight. They start to thicken up later this evening, and then the rain arrives sometime around midnight or so over southwestern Maine, and then moves northeastward through the evening. It's raining for 2/3 or so of the state by tomorrow morning. Down east and Aroostook County here might stay dry until late morning. A couple of downpours in here tomorrow afternoon, a possibility, and then this model at least wants to clear us out by tomorrow late afternoon. I will tell you that this particular model has kind of a quick moving precip bias. It does it with snow as well, so more likely we get a few hours of clearing over western and central Maine in the afternoon, temperatures into the 70s there, and then we're in great shape for Wednesday. And Wednesday's another beautiful day. If anything, the signal's been warmer and warmer and warmer. Originally looked like it would only be in the low 70s, now the possibility of some upper 70s, and away from the coastline, maybe some low 80s popping up on Wednesday afternoon. So overall, Wednesday's great, but back to some rain on Thursday. That looks like a more consistent, heavier storm on Thursday night in through early Friday. We'll see how quickly we can get out of here on Friday. I still see no big, super warm signals in the atmosphere, so, we'll float around like we did in the 80s here and there. I don't see anything that is going to pop us over 90 in the short term, at least. Weekend looks split right now. Saturday is looking better than Sunday. I'm not willing to write it off yet, but I did put showers on Father's Day, and we'll see if something changes and we can push that. Not going to be like last weekend, but we might go a whole summer without getting one quite that perfect again. Hopefully we don't.
Hopefully we
that
don't.
That face you just gave me.
I don't. Yeah.
Like I just heard a puppy.
I don't like that.
Yeah, we'll have another nice weekend like that. I promise you. I promise.
I guarantee it. 5-degree guarantee.
Yes, indeed. All right. Thanks, Keith.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says Canada may actually follow the European Union's lead and ban single-use plastics as early as 2021. The government is considering banning items like water bottles, plastic bags, and straws, but Trudeau says a science-based review will determine which products will ultimately be banned. The European Parliament overwhelmingly voted in March to impose a wide-ranging ban on single-use plastics. It was in response to all the pollution in waterways and fields fields of Europe. EU member states have given their support, but a formal vote has not yet taken place.
All right. Coming up, I'm going to join Cindy in the studio for the 5:30. Let's talk to her now, see what's coming up. Hey, Cindy.
Hi, guys. Over the years, periodically, there is a lot of police activity around one of Maine's oldest cold murder cases, that of Kimberly Moreau. Her father just does not give up, even though she's been missing for 33 years. Today, a tip took police to Livermore. They used some ground-penetrating radar. We'll tell you about what they found or did not find, but those pleas continue. Also, James Berube, the guy accused of stealing a truck and leading police on a high-speed chase, is in court today, in court today. And the woman he stole the truck from, not happy. Those stories and more ahead at 5:30. Back to you.
All right, Cindy, thank you very much.
Now continues in just a moment.
I've heard it said both ways.
Really?
Equally. Oh yeah. But I think it's a regional thing.
All right, Facebook.
Sorry, Facebook, if we ignored you today. We're getting used to the new system.
If you don't mind.
Downstairs.
A lot of comments on the Corporal Cole, John Williams case. Amanda, we will be covering the case over the next few weeks. What up, Keith?
Hey, we'll be back here, guys, at the monitor.
Oh, Brenda, soggy in North Carolina. That's unusual. Usually you guys have better weather than us. Hey, what time does the rain come into Maine on Thursday?
It's probably like late afternoon. Depends on where in Maine you are, but.
Do you think there will be sprinkles ahead of that?
No, I mean, we should be dry till at least 1 or 2, and then after that, it's basically southwest and northeast. So if you're in western Maine, it'll be early. If you're in northern Maine, it won't be till the evening. Big state.
All right.
Big state.
All
so
right.
Tell me where you be at. Tell me where you stay at. That's the state. Where's our brain
What's
drops?
happening here?
There we go.
Ooh.
It's a ski slope on top of a power plant in Copenhagen.
That's kind of cool.
Yes. And the power plant is awesome looking too.
I mean, it's not as cool as a company in Brunswick that's mimicking human tissue.
It's a cool story. It's tough. That's one where you basically need the tank.
It's tough
to make like cool stuff.
Yeah.
Try not to wander too far because the lights are a little.
Ooh. Oh, we lose Lee for this. I forgot about that.
There you go.
So I don't want to block his stuff. Is this okay?
Take a small step to your right.
Me?
You. Yeah. Perfect. Here you go, guys. Stand by.
You just jump right in, right?
Here we go.
Okay, so Amanda already did brain drops, but this is round 2, and this is a power plant, believe it or not, in Denmark, Copenhagen.
Oh, that sounds so boring.
I know, I can't believe this. How could you make people watch this? But it's got a ski slope on the top. Do we have the aerial shot? This is a really interesting, so this is actually the slope. It's not what you would think it looks like. It's actually basically a form of AstroTurf that's lubricated, and people can ski down it. The reason they're doing this is to get people to come and tour the plant. So the plant is really interesting. It's almost carbon neutral, and it burns waste from the city and turns it into power, and then recaptures the CO2 so it emits almost none. So Copenhagen is really aggressive on this. They're trying to be, as an entire city, carbon neutral by 2025. And so there are different ways to do that, but what they're doing is they're doing biomass, and then they're also burning some wood from forests that are specifically designed for that. And so that has less of an impact than coal, obviously, or something that's an older forest. So I thought it was really interesting that they basically just want to get people in the door so they can check it out, and making this stuff visually attractive, and they can put it in the middle of a city. makes the whole thing seem more possible.
That is really neat.
Pretty cool, and you can go skiing, kind of skiing.
There you go. Check it out. All right, News Center Main at 5:30 starts right now.
Coming.
All right, Facebook. Sorry we kind of ignored you today. Trying new things. Have a good one.